Maryam Fazil Amin that you know everywhere. She's there as my sister, my friend, and everything. So, first of all, thank you, Mr. Ibrahim, to be here and honored us for your time on Womenpreneur Pakistan. So now please introduce yourself so that people will know that who you are and what you do. And then the rest of the interview, Maryam Fazil Amin will take.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, my sister, and thank you for the invitation. My name is Wael Ibrahim, and I'm the student counselor at the Australian Islamic College in Perth City in Australia. I have authored a couple of books on the harmful impact of pornography. I'm also the founder of the Aware Academy, which is a platform to educate the masses around the harmful impact of pornography and to help those who are addicted to these imagery and to help them get back to shape and find themselves away from the harmful people.
Amazing. That's very, very, very nice to hear that at least someone is talking about this one. So, Madam Maryam Fazil Amin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi Shrah Sadri wa Yassir li Amri wa Ahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. This is Maryam Fazil Amin, and I am a well-being life coach, a trainer, a speaker. I'm the board of member of Womenpreneur Pakistan and the PR consultant as well. And I am also a part of Aware. I'm a student of Aware Global Academy Global and the speaker and trainer for this academy. And I am really honored to introduce you to Brother Wael Ibrahim. Today we have another topic on visual addiction. As we start this session of ours, I would like to ask, first of all, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, sister. Glad to see you, and thank you once again for the invitation.
You're welcome. Welcome to the Womenpreneur platform. As we all know now, nowadays everything is online, and so screen time has become no matter what, no end to it. And today's topic is very important, and I would like to ask Brother Wael that can you explain about the importance of the title of the topic today, the visual addiction?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is so important that we should, as you mentioned, everything has become online now, including us, like even human beings became part of this online world. So it is very important for us also to identify the benefits of the online world and the harm. If you don't recognize that there are harms online, then it's easy for us, for our children, for our household, to fall into these errors, and you get hooked on some content that are very, very harmful and sometimes very dangerous. So that's why it's very important. And alhamdulillah, I've been among the people who focus in this area in about 13, 14 years now, almost 14 years. When some people were approaching me as a Muslim leader in the community, expressing their agony and behavior online, whether it is a relationship or pornography, hardcore content that were not suitable for human beings. That's my personal understanding of the industry, and such content, explicit content, is not suitable for human consumption. And so it becomes an addiction. An addiction basically is alteration of your brain structure. So we are talking about something really bad. If addiction can change the physical structure of your brain, then don't you think it is important one? So subhanAllah, earlier in the days we used to think that addiction is caused by chemicals, by drugs like cocaine and heroin and marijuana and whatnot. But science has advanced so much now that they tell us that even visual imagery could have a similar impact on the brain. Though you will not die physically because of these images, but you will die on different other aspects. You will die in terms of productivity. You will die in terms of sexual intimacy with your spouse. You will die in terms of focus and succeeding in life. You will die in terms of career and seeking growth and so on and so forth. So you could die on so many levels, but not physically. Like, addiction to pornography will not kill you physically like cocaine and heroin, but it will kill you, as I mentioned, on other levels that are very, very, sometimes, in my opinion, equally important. When we die physically, that's it. It's done deal. You're now with your Creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of the rest. But when you live while you're from internally dead, it's even more hard. It's even more difficult. And that's what we experience when we see people who come to our offices to help. They tell us this, that we're not ourselves. We feel like we are fake. We feel like we are, like a different person, like hypocrites and so on and so forth. So we ask Allah Ta'ala through this effort that we can, inshallah Ta'ala, assist the people with the necessary tools to get rid of their addictions if they're addicted, or to also equip them with the necessary knowledge to help their circles and the society at large.
That was a very good explanation, Jazakallah. Another question I have, can you explain how could a visual images turn into addiction? And how can, because a lot of people would want to understand, how can this visual images turn into addiction?
Basically, my dear sister, our brain is designed in a way that it craves novelty and fantasy and imaginary stories. If I tell you right now, and I want you, inshallah, and the audience online to focus with me, if I told you once upon a time, I was sitting under the tree, and all of a sudden, few birds came down to me, singing in the language that I understand. Now, this is a story that I just invented right now. Right now, I invented the story. But I guarantee you, as soon as I said the birds spoke to me, everyone in the audience had become activated. Because such a story will never happen in a real life situation, right? No birds will come and the language you understand.
True, I understand.
It's such a miracle, right? But the point is, this is how our brain operates. Our brain is captivated by imaginary stories, by things that are not real. And as a result, when you go and look on the internet, or you look on magazines, or you look on anything else, anything that is more beautified, any image that is more beautified, and overall, and beautified, and tons of makeup on, and so on and so forth, immediately you're captivated. That's why when you work, if you work in the area of media or marketing, that's how we do that. The tricks into the products. They beautify it that does not exist. Like, for example, have you seen any commercial on TV for milk? They let kids drink milk and they fly. See, when you drink that milk, this brand, you become powerful, and then you fly, and then those same kids, when they go to the supermarket and the shopping center with their parents, if they walk down the aisles, they see the same brand that we see in the movie. They want to want us fly in that particular milk because they saw the actor flying. So this is how images captivate our attention. When we watch, you guys are from Pakistan, it's good now. Let me talk freely about Indian movies,
Oh my God, okay.
When we talk about Bollywood movies, and especially back in the days, like not now. Now they became more reasonable, right? Like Shah Rukh Khan stage is much more reasonable than Amitabh Bachchan. But back in the days, Indian movies, a'udhu billah, like the amount of imaginary stories, things that never happened and will never happen. A person will be dead, beaten up by 10 people, and all of a sudden, just do like this. Just do like this. All the 10 people fly left and right.
Yes.
And we were captivated by these images.
Yes.
Like, we
Yes.
were like we would watch 4 hours movies of that type. Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Look at the movies of Jackie Chan. Very well scripted, never happened in real life. Nobody fights like that in the streets. And by the way, I am a very big fan of Bruce Lee. Not his movie, but his life. So I read his biography, and I read a couple of biographies on him. And there is a latest biography called A Life. I don't remember the author, but the biography is on Bruce Lee in great details. And within the biography, they are telling you that Bruce Lee was against the cinema at that time and the production of the cinema and movies because the fights within those movies were scripted. And he wanted to bring the street fight into cinema. And he was successful in doing that. But the point is that I'm trying to make is that that's your question, why such visuals became very addictive? Because when you watch pornography, what happened on porn does not happen in real life. Again, these things are very well scripted, very well planned, because they want to hook people on their products. And that's what causes also divorces and fights in houses, because the husband will go back home and he wanted to do the same thing he had seen with his wife, and he wouldn't be able to do that. But these are different. Everyone has his own liking and disliking. And then he became disappointed, and then he gave up relationship altogether. He gave up sexual relationship altogether. So that's why images became addictive, and now neuroscientists, neurosurgeons are telling us that they could be very, very detrimental.
That was very well explained, and I hope our audience understands the importance of the image turning into addiction, since we are totally digitalized now, and children and all ages are always online and in front of them on the tab, laptop or mobile phone, and the life has become totally in these things. There is another question: are visual addiction mentioned in Quran?
I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. And subhanAllah, it hits me. We are taught in the Quran that, and also we are taught by the Prophet Muhammad the concept of lowering the gaze, of looking at something that is halal and accepted. And I kept on thinking, like, how could the gaze be so powerful to an extent that the Prophet said it's an arrow from the arrows of shaitan. So if our gaze, if what we look at is an arrow from the arrows of shaitan, it means that ritual addiction is mentioned, and looking at haram is mentioned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, in the Quran, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will see, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. Tell to the believing men to lower their gaze. When you look at people that distract you sexually, lower your gaze. Stay away from visuals that can attract you sexually. So from that perspective, yes, it is mentioned. That's why Allah said, tell the believing men to lower their gaze, because if you lower your gaze, Allah continues saying that your private parts will be protected. So the eyes and the private part are connected. The things that you look at, react, your body will react to them. When you look at something that's painful, what do you feel? There are signs. Your body will react, your heart will pump very fast. Those who are of, horror movies, they will know what I'm talking about. You know it's a scary movie. You know it's happening. The music is very scary. A scene will come and you will be jumping off the floor. So the point is, our body reacts more instantly. So the eyes are so powerful. That's why Allah will not come out of His way and mention the eyes in the Quran because it's something simple. No, Allah linked what we watch to our private parts, and He said that if you lower your gaze from that which is haram, your body parts will not be affected. Your private parts will act in a haram and in a good way. And that's what Prophet ﷺ said to the people, to young people, and this is a message to all the parents who are watching us. Please, I beg you, please help your children, help your daughters, help your sons to get married as soon as possible. Don't wait for them to finish universities. Get them married and help them to finish their universities. Otherwise, zina will spread. Already it is spread. Already. The Prophet said, Ya ma'ashar al-shabab, all young people, whoever amongst you is able and capable to get married, let him get married. Why? The Prophet said, because it's going to help you to lower your gaze and to guard your private part. You see the point? So yes, from that angle, I think